Time to get yourselves canceled has passed. Ayo! Everybody make some noise for the TB&J Open Mic. Woo woo!
Woo!
Yeah! Whoever's voice that was, you're my new favorite. But yeah, a couple things before we get started. I just want to say real quick that we do have a couple of policies that we try and adhere to. The first is a 2-strike heckling policy. The first time that you try and heckle us, we will mute you. The second time, i.e. doing anything weird from your camera, we will kick you out of the room. Secondly, we have a zero-tolerance harassment policy. So if at any point anybody in the room feels like they are being harassed, either private message me or Brooks, and we will kick them out, no questions asked. And thirdly, we encourage people to plug their social media in the chat, either in the Zoom chat or also if you want to see the stream as it's going on Twitch or YouTube. If you throw it in that chat, you might have some audience members following you, but like whatever, it's no big deal if you don't want to do all that. But also, if you want to support the stream, please consider making a donation of any size at districtcomedy.io, or if you don't want to give money, if you share the stream or just like share the channel on YouTube or Facebook or any of those platforms, that also helps. So that is a big ol' go ahead. We're going low tech tonight. So I will be saying 1 minute before the end of your set in a deep, sensuous voice into the microphone. 1 minute. And if you prefer to have a message sent to you in the chat, we'll also be doing that. But just to give you a heads up, we're not interrupting your set. We're just letting you know you have 1 minute left. You can completely ignore us. Either way, make some noise. Woo, 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 woo. I don't really have comedy tonight. I'm just going to give myself 4 minutes to do some of my old hack material. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I have like some live mics coming up, so I want to make sure that I get my reps in. But like, I'm gay, woo woo! Hashtag pride, everybody. Not actually gay. I am bisexual, but I round up to gay because that seems to be less confusing for some reason. But no, it's true. It's like I don't want to get into an in-depth conversation like I did with my mom recently. Because, also, little known fact, 2020 was a great year for me, mainly because I got engaged to a guy. Yeah! Give me them claps, I'll take them. But yeah, so part of that, though, is that I have to basically give my mom the sex talk, which is like a little bit different when you're in my situation. She's like, oh my god, you're engaged. When are we gonna have grandkids? Like, when are the kids coming? Which is a very normal question. But also, I don't know, Mom. We keep trying. We just can't seem to figure it out, I guess. But, you know, we are, and now I've sat her down, and while that seems like an aloof answer, it almost seems more insulting to give her the real explanation, which is like, well, when two men love each other very much, they download Tor and hop onto the dark web. And 12 to 14 weeks later, Wayfair's got just what I need. That is a joke about child sex trafficking. No, it is not a great time to be gay in America. It's very expensive if you ever want to have kids. But also, capitalism. Everybody's going to change their logo to be like a rainbow ombre, which is really fun. Yeah, other fun stuff about being gay. I used to be on Grindr. That's a really good time. I met an ex that way who I feel really grateful that I've met my current fiance because not all of the people I've dated were winners, and this is an example of that. He was the kind of guy, so he would like come home from being out and be like, oh my god, I saw this while I was out and it made me think of you, so I bought it and here you go. This is a present, which sounds really sweet, but it was a ring made out of a human molar. Yeah, that is right. A ring made out of teeth. It's like, is that a cavity or a black diamond? I don't know, but it's very cool. Somebody knows the brand. But at the end of the day, you really just have to give them credit because it is so hard anytime you try and make a gift yourself. You know? Oh man, it's just like, I love you. That's one of my favorite things is that I love Teeth Bit. I don't know if Ralph Anthony will be here tonight, but like if he doesn't hear this, it will at least be streamed to the internet forever. But he has human teeth for eyeballs. Let that be lore. Let that be legend. Let that just be what everybody spreads from this mic. I also have 33 seconds left for everybody who's getting bored. But I'll also say, you haven't noticed how like those Facebook filters that scroll questions above your head will be like, what fairy tale are you? And just to correct you, they're very accurate. I got Goldilocks. Which the reason that's accurate is because there's nothing I would rather do than spend the entire day eating, taking a nap, and having a bear eat me out and wake me up that way. Anyway, that's my time. I've been Tom. Thank you. Hashtag Evan Klim, even though he's not here. I feel like that's his thing. He goes like, thank you. Next up on our list, though, we're gonna go more the normal route. Hey Brooks, do a check for me. Put you on the spot, make you really nervous. Is Josh Mandel in the room?
No.
How about Amira Abu El Sod?
No.
How about I know she's in the room, but she doesn't have any notes, so I'm gonna extend this out anyway. How is our favorite Canadian? Is she in the room?
Oh man,
she's right here.
Oh.
I don't know if there's other Canadians in the room.
There is. There's two other Canadians.
I
It's
know,
a very
sorry.
Canadian heavy
Spoiler.
mic.
You're not necessarily our favorite. Oh no, Mark Hallworth's in the room. This is a conflict of interest. Oh my god. You know what? Desiree's our favorite Canadian, but Mark is our favorite comedian with a 13-inch penis. But for now, we're going to celebrate Desiree Walsh, our favorite comedian, and I'm going to read her actual intro, which is, if she doesn't do 3 to 5 Zoom mics a night, she will die. Give it up for Desiree Walsh. Woo, 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 woo.
I've only done one tonight so far, so it's kind of touch and go. But hopefully I will be okay. Where's the clock?
There's no clock. I'm sorry you were late. I'm just going to whisper 1 minute when you have 1 minute, and I will restart your time.
Okay, great. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, if you want more time, guys, just yell, "Where's the clock?" No, don't do that. I am Canadian. There's really no joke there at this point. It's not even a humble brag. I just really like saying it at the top of my sets. Yeah, it's nice. Also, I think all of you know this, but if I don't say it, I will die. I have a lot of conditions where I'll die if I don't say things. Yeah, I'm disabled. I use a wheelchair. You just can't see it because of Zoom. And this is relevant because I started a new job at the bank I work at. Yes, I did. And it's actually related to like disability and accessibility. But I'm being trained remotely because the air is still poison in Canada. But I think it's going to get better soon. Yeah. So we're being trained remotely. So it's a lot like now where no one knows I'm disabled, except you guys do, because I tell you every week. Yeah. But I don't do that at work. So the person who was training me was like, so do you know anything about like accessibility or disability? And I immediately went into like all the jobs I have ever had pertaining to disability and accessibility. I went into my education, did not mention the 37 years of lived experience as a like wheelchair bound woman. Now she just thinks like I'm a able-bodied white woman who likes to help. I saw some disabled people and was like, I'm coming to help you, disabled people. I'm gonna help. By the way, walkies, this is how I think you run. I've never done it before. Don't even stand up to brush my teeth. So I think this is how you do it. It's very angry. There's a lot of fish pumping. Yeah. I think I'm nailing it, is what I'm saying. So if any of you have like good ideas on how to let somebody know you're disabled, because it's now gotten to the point where like it's too awkward for me to say anything. So yesterday I sat through a 30-minute presentation about the barriers some people with disabilities face while banking. and I wanted to be like, I have 3 of these conditions. Can I move on? But yeah, no, I have to be polite. So I listened and I took notes and said, that's interesting a lot. I don't think I have time for the other joke.
You got 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there because I'm gonna run the light if I do anything else.
Do it. Run the light. We got a
Run the
shallow
light.
room tonight.
Okay. So I high key love psychics, like to the point where I have to work very hard not to give them all my money. I'm a very suggestible person. There is a spot in Toronto called Dundas Square. It's like a poor man's Times Square, but there's like religious leaders and cult leaders and psychics. There's also a guy that bangs on a bucket. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I have to stay out of there or I will accidentally join a cult because they have free pizza stickers and a cool robe. Yeah. But I did go to a psychic once and I asked him who I was going to marry, and they told me that it was somebody I worked with who was a little bit younger than me that I talked to every day. And I said, oh, and she said, is there someone like that? And I said, yes, but he's gay. And she kind of did that like, you just think he is. And I said, no, like I've full on seen him kiss a man at Pride while wearing a rainbow shirt. He is gay. And she was just like, oh. And I said, so who am I going to marry? And she just answered, well, not him, someone else. It's just like, no shit, Sherlock. I will stop there because I'm getting obnoxious. This is obnoxious. Thank you.
Give it up for Desiree for not marrying a gay man who I'm assuming doesn't want it. That's a hard situation. I'm glad you took the higher road.
I guess I should have. The progressive thing would have been to double check if he maybe wanted to marry.
I mean, it's a weird world we live in. You never know. Like, like I don't know. There's a lot of situations that could happen. I need to stop because I keep going through like memories that should be repressed. I'm gonna take a break here. No, it's not your fault. It's my childhood. That's the main reason suppressed memories are coming up. Either way, we're gonna go to the next person on our set list. I switched things around a little bit, so I'm gonna give them a very long intro because he also gave me one. So Todd Van Allen, space, is a comedian, and he's in the room, right? He's in the room?
Yeah.
He is in the room, and oh my god, there you are. Thank you so much for waving.
Yes.
You're our next comedian. We're really excited to have you here. I like your brick wall. I hope it's real. If not, that's a clever use of technology. And, I gotta applaud both owning a home that has brick and using technology. So give it up for our next comedian, Todd. Woo, woo, woo.
Yay! No, this is completely fake, but oh my god, does it work in corporates? It's fun. Happy Pride, everyone. I don't partake, I merely support. And this is a great month. Go out, celebrate if you can. Here's the thing. One thing I love is when I see businesses with like pride flags in the window. That's fantastic. But you can always tell when they're just chasing the gay dollar. Is like Dunkin' Donuts. I totally see you. It's like, no, try the rainbow sprinkles on our muffin. Fuck off. We know you. You were born in Boston. We get it. Here's the thing, though. I think there are some stores that don't need pride flags. Like, we get it. Like, you're fine. Sex stores, I'm looking right at you as I say this. Because when I see a pride flag in a sex store, that is a waste of a flag as far as I'm concerned. Because when was the last time you were in a homophobic sex store? You could tell by the name. It would be something like Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. It's like, okay, fuck off. Jesus. A little proactive. And I don't even know how that would work. It's like, okay, sir, that's one butt plug. Wait a minute. This is going in a woman's bum, right? Right. There's a larger act out, but I only have 4 minutes. Here's the other thing too. We got to support the trans community right now because they are really taking the hit for us. And I know that's weird coming from me, a guy that looks like he voted for Trump twice, which is weird because I'm Canadian. So it'd be like Doug Ford like 8 times. But here's the thing, trans community, you have my support as a gentleman. As much as I can do, I can use my privilege to help you guys out. You got to return the favor a little bit. Cut me some slack on the pronouns. That's all I'm asking, just a little bit, because I am old and I drink. So there is going to be fuck ups. The needle's going to skip on the record a couple of times. Because I have a friend of mine that I knew as a she, and now they're a they, which is great. But my pronoun for them is now always she. Fuck they. And that's not changing. I am so dumb. My head is broken. It's like, oh yeah, she, fuck they. So I'm trying. Just coming. I grew up on light switches. I'm not used to dimmers yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I moved from Toronto to Ottawa, and I'm sad about a few of the venues that we lost because of COVID. Like there was one in Toronto that was just amazing. It was this great place called the Ossington. It's closed now, but they had this great room at the back for comedy, and this bar that you could get your drinks at. They had a great sign just kind of set the table, is like, welcome to the Ossington. No tabs, no sexism, no racism, no homophobia. So just let everyone know dicks are not allowed in here, which I thought was fantastic. I do love, of course, the fact that no tabs was top of that bill. Like that was their biggest. Like the female bartender has a guy in front of her going, "Give me a beer, bitch." And her biggest problem is he's not paying as he goes. Like they had a bigger problem with the dine and dash than homophobia. So I blame the broke woke. I will close on this. I'm at a point right now where I am when I'm on Twitter and I see like a celebrity's name trending and it's a celebrity I really, really care for and adore, I hope they're dead. That is my prayer, because I don't need any luggage tainting that thing. Is like, oh my God, Betty White's trending. Please be dead. You had a good run. You had a great run. Please don't have been in a Bob Evans calling your waiter a fairy. Please, for the love of Christ. For the love of Christ, just pass on. There's 3 more, but I don't have time. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna give him points for the jokes he wasn't able to do and give him like full like rule of threes credit. Give it up for Todd Van Allen, everybody. Woo, 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 woo. Oh my God, I'm so excited also for our next comedian. She just hopped in. We'll give it a spot. Give it up for Casey Hackett. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, thanks for having me hop in at the last minute. Just finished trivia, and here we are.
Sorry.
So I just hit a milestone in my life. I didn't know this was a milestone, frankly. But I am now older than my current doctor. That is not a thing I was mentally prepared for. And this generation of doctors, a phrase I did not think I would ever say, but they're different, this generation. I walked in and she was very concerned about making me feel comfortable. And she's like, Casey, would you be comfortable if I weighed you? Like, I'm here for a pap smear, ma'am. There's nothing that's going to be comfortable about today. I know I'm not a like, let's just get this over with. So I get on the scale and she come around. She tells me, now you tell me the numbers you want me to write down.
Oh my God.
That's not how weight works. That's not how science works at all.
Oh my
I got what I wanted out of medicine. This COVID vaccine would give me $1 million and a smaller waist, but I don't get what I want. There's a scientific process. There's one place where I tell people what I want my weight to be, and that's the DMV. You know, like, that's not the person writing me drugs. I feel like she should know the real number, but maybe I'm just not caught up with all this science stuff yet. It's my mom's actually a retired nurse, which is good that she's retired because I don't think she could do this sugar coating that the doctors seem to be doing these days. My mom doesn't sugarcoat shit. I actually saw her recently because I am vaccinated. Don't tell your parents you're vaccinated. You have to go see them. But she got a new car over the pandemic. It has all this great technology, and she can turn on Pandora. So doing really well. But actually, it's important for you to know my mom and I have one reoccurring argument. It's that she thinks I nag her too much when she's driving, and I think she should pick a fucking lane as she's driving all over the goddamn highway. So this new car has lane assist. Guess who won an argument? Driving down the road, the damn car sounds like someone is playing Cardi B's WAP on radio edit. It is left and right. And as it's laying down this new beat, my mom just says, "Okay, Casey." I didn't say anything. That's my name. Yeah, so I found out she named the car Casey. Yep. It's not because she was lonely during the pandemic. It just nagged her as much as I did. So this 4th of July weekend, I hear there is a great sale on Toyota Casey's. I encourage everyone to go ahead. I think I've got like 10 seconds left, right, Tom?
30, but
30.
10 if that works for you.
All right,
This can be the bit. This can be the whole thing.
Thanks, guys.
Casey Hackett, everybody, dealing with my inefficiency. Although that's my timer going off, so really we timed it perfectly. Ayo, we're gonna be starting an improv troupe as soon as this is over. That's what that means. Either way, give it up for our next act. He is super special because he's also my co-host, and he's going to allow me to actually focus on tech for the rest of the night instead of trying to host and do tech for the entire night. Give it up for Brooke Schandelmeyer. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, buddy. All right, guys, it is good to see everyone. So something I don't know that you guys may not know about me is I used to work at Medieval Times. And I was a server at Medieval Times, or what most people called me, a serf, because, it's medieval themed. But some people didn't call me a serf. They called me a loser. If you guys know what I called those people, correct. I did not have a lot going for me at the time. So, guys, I'm a big fan of watching House Hunters because There is nothing more satisfying than watching a show about people who can buy houses when you cannot, and guessing which couple is going to get a divorce. Seeing like, oh, you're aggressively attacking her mom because you don't like the shutters of this home. You're probably divorcing later. I love House Hunters International even more because this is the best case example. You have this American woman who goes to Australia because she went on vacation and fell in love with this guy over 1 week and says, I'm going to give up my whole life in California and live in Australia with him, only to realize, oh, he has 3 kids from a previous marriage and he wants to live in the middle of nowhere where all the wildlife wants to kill her. And watching just this woman slowly realize she's made the biggest mistake of her life makes me almost forget I used to work at medieval times. I am getting married though, which is really awesome. I don't like that a lot of people have been making ball and chain jokes to me though. Like, I'm really excited to get married, but I told my mom that I had proposed and Chelsea had said yes, and she's all excited and she tells her now husband, and he starts making jokes like, oh, well, that's the ball and chain. I guess your old life's over, man, huh? No more fun for you. I'm like, dude, you're married to my mom. You can't talk that way, you motherfucker. Wait, ew, no. No, guys, I'm so excited to get married though. Like, my fiance is one of the most brilliant women that I know. She's one of the most brilliant people that I know. She is a college professor. I am not. I'm good at other things. So like, she used to work with internationally renowned scientists in Paris and Thailand, Montreal. I know how to fry an Oreo. She once got published she got published 3 times with original research. And I still know most of the lyrics to DuckTales. It's like an airplane, something, Duckburg. Yeah, she can't check that off her bucket list. No, but guys, I gotta tell you, this is how smart she is, though. So, like, this is when we were still dating, and I get a call from my dad at like 6 in the morning, and I pick up because the last time I got a call from my dad at 6 in the morning, he was telling me my uncle died. So I'm expecting more really great news.
Right.
And I'm like, Dad, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, the house burned down, but don't worry, I'm okay. The pets are okay. We got everything valuable out of the house, and it's fully insured. And I'm like, okay, cool. And Chelsea's like, hey, what's wrong? So I says, well, Dad's house burned down, but he got out okay. The pets got out okay. Everything that was valuable was already outside, and it's fully insured. Is this the house that your dad's been trying to sell for the past year? Yeah. The house that no one has bought for the past year? Yeah. And it's fully insured? Yeah, for more than it's worth. Why? Oh my God, Dad, burn the house down. All right, you guys, I ran past my timer slightly, but it was to complete a really funny joke. So I'm going to introduce our next comedian. She is the best Boston comedian from Palestine. Give it up for Amira Abu Al-Sayoud.
All right.
I'm gonna record real quick just in case you want the clip after. No worries.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay.
That's what that voice is. Woo!
Thank you. Okay. So I was on a date with this guy. He does Reiki, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And he's like, "Oh, when you transfer energy and you heal people, but you don't touch." He's like, "Do you feel it?" I'm like, "Nah, not really." So things were going well. I went back to his place. He asked me for a hand job, but I come from a strict family, so I was like, "How about a Reiki hand job?" So one time I got this message on Facebook from this old gross guy. He was like, how do you want to live with me for $300 a week? I'm like, no thanks. I make more on unemployment, and I don't have to do weird sex stuff. I mean, I'm so glad I have unemployment because I don't have to do weird sex stuff anymore. I wasn't really making much with doing sex work because I was doing Reiki sex work. So, but don't worry, I can still go to heaven if it's fake sex work. Okay, so there's this guy on Instagram messaging me. I mean, there's a ton of men messaging me. But he was like in Egypt, and I was like, let's just talk as friends because I'm not interested in long distance relationships. And he's like, okay, this is how he messages me, just as friends. I wish I was born in your eyes so I can roll down your cheeks and die on your lips. I don't talk to my friends like that, but maybe that. But I think if he was romantically interested in me, this is how it would sound. I wish I was conceived in your nose so I could go down your esophagus and die in your heart like an arterial blockage. Maybe then I would move to Egypt. A lot of my guy friends are telling me I'm a great catch, but like never want to date me. And I'm like, why do you guys keep throwing me back in the water? I want to just like be on land. I don't know. I don't even think it's a great thing to be caught because then you get gutted and eaten. I mean, maybe one of them isn't so bad. Okay, that's it. Okay. So my sister was asking me if I was gonna shave before my date, and I was like, no. If he can't have me at my hairiest, then he can't have me at my smoothest. I like going to the gynecologist because I have physical intimacy with her, and I like going to my therapist because that's where I pretend to be a normal person. I like going to the eye doctor because I get a guy that stares directly into my eyes instead of the TV behind me. A lot of people complain about the American like healthcare system, but I think it's working really great for my loneliness.
1 minute.
Okay. I was complaining to my therapist about getting older and that I'm soon gonna have to get fertilized to have children. And when I said that, it kind of sounded like I had to go to Home Depot to get some fertilizer to sit on. I don't know if it's just me or does anyone else hear that, but I once started talking to this guy and he called me stubborn right away, so I wasn't sure if I should keep talking to him. So I asked my cousin. My cousin was like, yeah, just go out with him for the free ice cream. And I was like, you know what? I should only ask 5-year-olds for advice nowadays. That's probably my time. Thank you.
Oh,
All right.
The
you guys,
recording
give
has
it up
stopped.
for Amira.
Hey
All
Brooks,
right,
can I
everyone.
ask you a question before we like smoothly transition out of Amira?
Yeah.
Does anybody else hear the electronic voice when I stop the recording?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
We all
good.
do.
I just wanted to make sure. Sorry. Please continue, Brooks.
All right, everybody. So give it up for Amira one more time and keep it going for our next comedian. He's a cheerful dude from Canada that passes out when he gets an erection because of his 18-inch penis. Give it up for Mark Hallworth.
Hey, it's me. Keep it going for Brooksy Poopsie, everybody. I thought that's what we called you.
We do. We do.
Yeah. Guys, Desiree was talking about a homeless guy in Toronto's Dundas Square who bangs on a drum all day. Some people call that guy Mark Hallworth. No, I'm not homeless. I'm in a prison. Anyway, this show's crazy. I do want to thank Todd Van Allen for not doing whatever his butt plug act out was going to be. I want to see this. But I'm having a blast, man. Belgium won today. I'm so pumped. I'm from Belgium. Belgium, if you don't know, is the sweet spot between France and the Netherlands. I'm the Oreo cream filling. And there's French people and Dutch people, and everybody hates everybody, which is great. One time, as a prank, the Belgian government was like, "We're separating," and everyone thought it was real, and they loved it. They're like, "Fuck you, Frenchies!" Like, people acted on it, man. Can you imagine that's how you found out that your neighbor hated you? You fake your own death as a prank, and everyone's like, "Thank God, Jesus." I had a weird smell. But this is my favorite Belgian story. This speaks to me so much. One time, Spanish guards were running through Brussels, the capital city. They ran under a bridge, and this Belgian kid, this like 10-year-old, crawled onto the bridge, and he was like, "Fuck you!" And he was like, "Attack!" and started pissing on the guards. I don't know if people know this story. And the Spanish guards were like, "Retreat!" It worked. Like, everybody forgets about piss, man. The universal ammunition. But isn't that great? Like, and this kid's a hero now in Belgium, and you're like, well, he's like the Abraham Lincoln, and you're like, whoa, there's like a big statue of him. Yeah, man, there's a bronze statue in downtown Brussels of this kid, and it's a fountain that just pisses all day. And there's yeah, where you can buy corkscrews, and the coil is the dick. So when you open a bottle of wine, it's like a kid fucking the bottle. It's like, that's what's great about Belgium, man, is that they celebrate total jackasses. Imagine your hometown had like a statue of somebody crouching, and when people are like, "What's this?" You're like, "It symbolizes teabagging a fucking noob." The only other thing I wanted to do, okay, you guys are cultural people. Everybody needs some degree of culture. And that's coming from me. I came from this town, Calgary. I grew up in this town, which is like the Houston of Canada. If you and like now I'm like, I don't know. I didn't have any culture. I didn't try sushi till I was like 25. And now I'm like cocky about it. I'm like, it's pronounced sashimi. Like, such a but everybody needs some kind of culture. I was driving through Canada once, and I stopped off in this little town called. Okay, thanks, Tom. Stopped off in this town called White River, which you got to check out. It's just west of nothing. And you guys have towns like this in the States, these like weird shit splat towns where like the hospital's in the back of a gas station, I guess. Like, what the hell is this place? The mayor is a caribou. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And I was talking to this woman from White River who was super proud of her town, and that's cool. But she had never been to a city at all and was super rude about it. She was like, "You guys are from Toronto? Barf. Nah, there's no place like White River, and I've seen it all. Skookumchuck, British Columbia, Chard, Alberta." She just like listed all these oil rig fucking towns. That doesn't count. I've been to Moose Factory, Ontario. We have a black guy, but it's a bear. Like, I don't know if try some culture. You're like, "Oh, paprika, too spicy." No. White River, we have salt and table salt. Like, so I'm saying, man, if you don't try culture, I don't know about imposing your opinions on other things. Don't be the guy that's like, The Godfather? That sounds like a shitty movie. Now, the best Robert De Niro movie I've ever seen is Dirty Grandpa. Anyway, you guys are great. Cheers, everybody. Thanks so much.
All right, guys, keep it going for Mark Hallworth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a quick mic check
I'm
here.
not that enthusiastic. I'll tone it down.
Aww.
I'll tone it down for the future.
All right, guys. So our next comedian of the night, please welcome Kavita Singh.
Hey everyone. All right, so my uncle recently got arrested. Guys, he got arrested for bribing a local government official. When I first found out, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Fuck you, asshole, for making all Indians look bad." But I also felt a little vindicated that it was white collar crime. Like, something on par with what white people do. Like it wasn't some stereotypical blue collar bullshit like Indian man caught stuffing turban at Trader Joe's with mangoes, said he thought they were free. My uncle graduated from a bodega to a wannabe Bernie Madoff, and I feel like that's worth celebrating. I don't do well in fancy restaurants, and by that I don't mean fancy as in like the little hipster establishment at your street corner with an ironically hideous name like Tin Shed Garden Cafe or like the Angry Rooster. They like sprinkle some hollandaise sauce on your eggs Benedict and you're like, this is worth $18. No, I mean like the bullshit over the top restaurants that have that sign that says no pours allowed on the floor. Right? Like you step into the restaurant and the hostess looks at you like you're lost, and then when you tell her that you have a reservation, they're like, oh, it's absolutely a birthday. Like there's no other reason that they would be here if it wasn't for a birthday. What did I write? You ever like read your jokes and you're like, what the fuck is this? So me and my friend Priya and my boyfriend, we went to this fancy restaurant called Menton, or as my friend pronounces it, Menta, which sounds like the rich just like spitting on the middle class. And we didn't have the cash to even make the meal happen. So like as we were trying to order different foods, I'm like casually pulling out an abacus and calculating how much food I can't eat tomorrow so that I could dine in tonight. My boyfriend literally pulled out like a scratch card in front of the waiter and started scratching it off. And my friend Priya was like reassuring the waiter. She's like, don't worry, like we're gonna use my friend's card. And I'm like, you could try. We really don't have there's no assurance. That is all I have.
Hey-o.
All right, guys, give it up for Kavita Singh.
Give it up.
Is
Give
this
it up
now the point where I
aggressively.
mentioned?
Sorry.
Is this now the point where I mentioned that I am also a local elected official? So like, I'm very easily bribable.
Wow.
You just buy me lunch and I'll let you do whatever you want.
Amazing.
Not even an expensive lunch. Like you buy me a $2 burrito from 7-Eleven, I'll be like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, yeah, dump the toxic waste in the bay.
Like a burrito will equal like he will change your zoning.
I will change your zoning for a burrito. I have that on a sign, actually. Sorry, enough about me riffing about my local political career. Please microwave a burrito for me. Our next comedian. All right, so give it up for our next comedian. You know him, you love him, and now he's sporting some brand new mouth jewelry. Give it up for AJ Capuccio.
I'm being annihilated by pollen. I'm either about to sneeze or am sneezing. That's my. I got new teeth just in time for mask off season.
Woo!
It feels a little weird. Like I put my tongue there and I know they're not real teeth, and it's just sort of a reminder of the time where I fell off my bike, and I'll just never be the same again. And I guess that's okay. I'm from Maine. Yeah, I had my water depleted overnight by a private company that's called Nesquik.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own soda up in Maine. It's called Moxie, but a true Mainer makes his own with rusty well water in a soda stream. I do open heart surgery, mostly artichoke hearts. I went to I really kill it at karaoke. That's why they call me Death of a Bachelor Party. I kept losing the key to my bike lock, so I used a combination lock instead because it's harder to lose a bolt cutter. I saw a YouTube advertisements, and yeah, I watched the whole thing, not because of I was intended by the product. I was just like, wow, where is this going? Yeah, it was for probiotics that make your balls bigger. I mean, yeah, I mean that doesn't really interest me. I don't want big balls. I want a huge cock, and no amount of probiotics is going to change that for me. But apparently you could that it works the same way probiotic that a fermented food would work. So like, I guess I have to make pineapple sauerkraut now. This whole vaccine hesitancy is quite confusing. I've given up trying to figure these people out. They don't trust the government, but they want FDA approval. That's like saying, I don't care what mom thinks because dad said whatever, or something stupid like that, or fuck the police, I'm going to wear my seatbelt still so I don't get a ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How much time do I have?
1 minute.
Cool. All right. So I discovered a new TV show. It's the latest installment of Shock Value, pretending to be educational. Sort of that thing that started with Bear Grylls. It's called Kings of Pain. They've stopped pretending to be they're still pretending to be educational, but it's just these guys getting bitten by animals on purpose. Pythons, exotic hornets, that sort of stuff, and they rate it on the scale. To me, these guys who are doing this are like the idiots who studied marine biology the first semester, immediately switched to sports management, but instead of switching to sports management, they lived out their true dreams.
Woo, 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 woo.
All right, I think I'm out of time. Thanks.
Woo, 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 woo.
All right, you guys, keep it going for AJ Capuccio.
Woo, 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 woo.
All right, you guys, our final comedian of the night. It doesn't matter, but she does. Emma Paxton.
Hey everyone. So
Hey.
it's summer, which is naturally why I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
Makes a ton of sense. No, but I was thinking of summer music, and I was reminded from a gem, Blast from the Past. Wait, does anyone here have a favorite worst lyric of all time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
cool. So I'm gonna battle you and say this is the worst lyric of all time. This was a song by a glorious band called LFO.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a one-hit wonder. And they were really excellent, creative, intelligent writers. And their lyric was New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick. I mean, the segue on that little transition is just perfect. It's not completely random at all. And just the entire song is just lyrics that are juxtaposed and have zero. Anyway, does someone have an example of what their worst lyric was that they heard?
Yes. I can't remember which Taylor Swift song. They're hunting for all the witches, even if you aren't one.
Anyone else?
Oh, now I'm only thinking of Taylor Swift.
What's that?
There's a lot of
Anybody else feel exclusively on the spot?
Okay, then I'll stop the whole thing. I just thought it'd be funny if there were more. Anyway, switching gears.
Hold on, I got one. I need to
I have
read it.
one.
I need to read it right, just so we get the full impact of it.
Right. We got to Google it first.
From We Fly High by Jim Jones. Ya boy getting paper, money. I buy big cars, foreign. 8 fly rides just to drive in my garage. Choose one. Sky high, twisted, fly with the stars. Twinkle, twinkle.
That's pretty excellent. Pretty smart. Anyway, I'm going to now transition between other things
Get the fuck
and
out
not
of here with
just
your quotes.
I should have just like went to the other joke and done exactly what the LFO song did. That would have been anyway. So people are always saying you have to love yourself, you got to love yourself. Like my only hang up with that is that I just don't want to be the one to say it first. Like I'm way too cool for that. Does anyone like the show Queer Eye? Obviously, because it's a great show. I like it. So yeah, I feel like every time the world gets like more depressing or the news gets worse, which is basically every single day of your life, Queer Eye should just put out a new season right away, just to combat it. But I think they should, rename it from Queer Eye to Tear Eye. That'd be more appropriate. All right, I'm kind of running out of time, but like love songs on the radio, like apparently the only thing you're allowed to sing about on the radio is love. Like that's the only topic that's allowed. But I just once wanted to be realistic. Like just once. Like to me, you're the best in the world. The best? I don't know. There's always room for improvement. I need you day and night. Okay, if I said that, I would be labeled clingy and codependent. I'd walk 1,000 miles just to see you. 1,000 miles. I can't even get you to walk 2 steps to talk to me. Like mile. Let's start with the quarter mile. All right, thank you so much. That's all for me.
All right, you guys, keep it going for Emma Paxton. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, everyone, that was our final comedian of the night. Be sure to plug your pluggables. Thank you for joining us. Close us out, my dude.
Yes, I will take us out. Just want to say, oh my God, how much do I relate to need to practice that self-love more is what I got from Emma Paxton's set. But also, I just want to remind everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you so much to all of the performers who have performed, to all of the hosts who have hosted, and of course to all of the audience members who have watched tonight. If you want to support the stream, please consider making a donation of any size at districtcomedy.io. And we're gonna be here indefinitely, so if you want to sign up for next week's mic, we'll be here. We're also gonna leave the room for our comedians in the room open for another 15 to 30 minutes for a little bit of green room time. If you just want to hang out, no obligation. You can totally just leave if you want. If you hate me, that's fine. And either way, that's it for our stream tonight, though. So have a good night. Goodbye, everybody. Wave. Yeah, they can't see you, but get that cardio in.